Hello friends. So Shelby and I are taking our walk and we're in the woods, and I had a thought that seemed worth sharing. Not something I feel like I've heard a lot, here and there, and so I thought I'd share it. I heard somebody say something about trees, and that really stuck with me, resonated with me, about their system of cooperation, that's the way a forest, all their roots basically are connected, and as you're walking through the forest, the woods, you can see their roots reaching towards each other. They grow across the expanse and they join, and it's fascinating. They'll grow together and they'll make like stairs. There's a couple places in these woods where several trees will kind of grow together, grow their roots together, and then they'll get all gnarled up and they'll be like stairs that we use, I know they don't do that on purpose, but it's fascinating to me, like, why, how that happened. I'll try to find one and turn the camera around, but, and, when I'm in the woods, I notice that everything is, each tree, each plant, each thing has its own separate and unique entity, except it's not, because it's obvious that they're all, and they communicate, they have systems of communication, the trees, regarding threat, like when one will get a blight or a certain kind of bug or something. They've proven that they communicate with each other, and that the taller trees and the shorter trees and the skinny trees and the big fat trees all work in a sort of symbiotic nature, and it's a circular thing. The oxygen goes around, in a circle, and it goes through the soil and comes back up, and then it's just, distributed and recycled around. And ever since I heard that, I'm a mental visualizer. I have several really concrete mental images in my head of solutions to our existential issue, the existential issue of not having meaning. And so, having found meaning in my life many times, and being extremely grateful because that's the reason I'm alive, it pains me to have realized that for myself several times, where I knew that I had meaning, or I knew that I still had meaning, or I had a new meaning, and to know that other people do not, it drives me nuts. And hello. Hi. Seems like cheating, and well, it's no fun to have something so glorious and to know that other people are suffering from the lack of it. So that's pretty much how I spend all my time, is trying to better understand the human animal, because I've never really been, well, I've always been slightly out of sync, slightly out of step, and it never really bothered me, because I think people are fascinating, so it doesn't really bother me. If I don't understand them, well then, that's fine, I'll just learn about them, and people are so generous if you're not, if you're open, then they're open, is what I have found. And so, I don't know, it's never been a problem for me. I just love people. I like to get to know them, and I like the moment when the facades slip or drop, and for me, it's usually not a deliberate facade, but I find that we pigeonhole each other like crazy, and I can tell when I break the stereotype or whatever that somebody may have had. Everybody's different, so I'm not even going to give an example, but you know, we do that to each other. We categorize. We have to, because the world is so complicated and we're so complicated. And that's okay to do that, just as a way of making our way through the world. But then in order to connect with each other, which is what we're suffering from, the lack of connection, lack of human connection and companionship, and really just connection, just that. And we need it every day. We just need it. We can't live without it. When we try to live without it, we suffer in a myriad of ways, and then we call it mental illness, behavior disorders, and personality disorders, and cancer, and lupus, and all these things. But really what it is it's just it's a buildup of it's the backlash from having our needs go unmet for so long and to such an extent. And so, I believe that the extent to which we are healthy or not, it can be measured and determined by the gap between who we know ourselves to be and who we show ourselves to be. And I say that because my health and my physical health and my mental health and my ability to have a spiritual life were all impacted, isn't even the right word, resurrected, redeemed, saved by shrinking the gap in between who I know myself to be and how I know that I feel and see and believe and think about things, and then how I am acting and how I'm allowing myself to be in the world, not trying to conform and letting maybe not my full personality, because it's kind of hard to do that with COVID. We're all just kind of buttoned up, but I've been locking my personality and my just my whole self away. I think we all do that. Since I was a teenager, since I was probably puberty. Maybe that's just really common. I don't know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that whenever I walk in the woods, I remember that we're just like these trees and these plants and these bushes. We're just a part of nature, and I hope you haven't been bludgeoned with that, because I know that's the sort of the topic right now, but the reason is because this is the shift in perspective that is required in order for us to get our head in the game, in the right game, to prioritize correctly in order to become the best version of ourselves that we can become, in order to contribute to our human family what we were born to contribute. And I think that the gap between as above, so below, the gap between what we are capable of and what we are sharing with the world and giving to the world collectively, that gap, that's the extent to which we suffer and have strife and war. And I just think that it's so simple, really. And I know that we don't really like simple, but for me it was just honestly as simple as getting back to my own nature. And when I got back to my own nature, I liked myself, and I trusted myself, and I expected of myself, because I knew I was capable, because I could feel the untapped, the dormant potential that I had basically just been sitting on because of living in survival mode, And it was only when I just literally couldn't do that anymore because of, well, I had a nervous breakdown, you know, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I was having serious health challenges and mental health challenges. And since I stopped lying to myself, since I stopped hiding from myself and hiding myself, you know, I'm medication free and I'm diagnosis free, and I'm 51 and I feel like I'm 30. And honestly, my life would be perfect if I could just figure out how to impart what I discovered that saved my life to you. That's all I want to do. That's all I think about. You know, my kids are grown, all 8 of them, and they're good. And I want us to find our way back to each other. Not just I want us to. I know that we will. We're working our way back towards each other. I see it. I think that I see it because I expect it and I look for it, and because I know what humans are capable of, because I see the best in us. And so that's what I see. And I think that that might be a happier way to live, because, you know, I go out in the world and it makes me happy. You know, people are just amazing. Their kids are cute, and I love the park, and I don't like having hair in my mouth, but, you know, I don't know, I get weird looks sometimes because I'm very friendly. I don't know what that's about, because I'm honestly not going to go into the room in my head that I would have to occupy in order to identify the reason why my perception of the world is so much different from others, and why that makes me an oddity. You know, why it makes me an oddity to be relentlessly friendly and positive, and you know, I just think, like I said, I'm not gonna attribute it to anything. I hope it's not just because I'm a white female and we have a reputation for being assholes or something. I mean, you know, I can understand, but I'm just kind of hoping that that's not what it is, because, you know, I think that we were moving away from treating each other that way, you know, and I personally, I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of really liked it better like that. We were just trying to get a little better every day, and now it feels like we're really just trying to get a little bit worse every day. And I understand that. I resonate with that, because that's what the self-destructive death spiral is. And having been on that death spiral and having crashed literally head first into the ground, and not enjoying it particularly. And you know, I'm 51, and most of my life has been lived in a fog of conformity and confusion and just sort of itchy angst, you know. And that's okay, because, man, I'm going to suck every last ounce of wisdom as I possibly can out of my own folly and my own hubris when I see it. And I guess I would say that maybe that's just a little easier on us when we think like that and feel like that. It's so hard on us to be so rigid and so poised for negative and trouble and danger. Well, then that's what we get, you know, and that's what we're getting. And I don't know where we think this is going to end. You know, can't end anywhere good, obviously, because we're in a death spiral. And, you know, I brought some kids into this world, and also I just kind of really dig humans, and I would really rather not, you know, all things being equal. You know, I know nobody asked me, but if I were to cast a vote, it would definitely be for, yeah, let's not self-destruct. And the beauty of our situation is that we're kind of on the shit heap, and man, do I know about being on the shit heap. Well, the beauty of that is that, you know, cliches are cliches for a reason. There's nowhere to go but up. And the even better part is that redemption is fucking awesome. It really is. I mean, redemption is, it's no joke. It's hard work, and it's exhilarating, and it could be a lot of fun, you know, because things are going to get interesting. You know, we've stacked up a karmic load of sorts collectively. I don't care what color your skin is or who you fuck. I'm just saying this. As humans, we're on this planet together, and if we want to redeem ourselves, we're going to have to do it together. It's not going to be like Mother Nature's going to say, well, I'm just going to wipe out this race and not that race. Where would she even start? We're all so mixed up. We're the only ones that don't know. We're just like the trees in the forest. All of our roots are connected. And we're in this together. I know that you know that. People are not stupid. But we have been denied information that we need about the way that our bodies work, about the way that we work interpersonally, and the way that we work within nature, because we are part of nature. All of that, we've just been sort of systematically, well, treated like mushrooms, frankly. And now, the way I see it is that we're kind of reacting to that, understandably, but kind of acting like the children that we are, because, well, as we didn't grow up, because we weren't really allowed to grow up, because most of us, we were either, it was chaotic. I know that the generation that my generation raised, man, we just fuck each other up. We don't mean to, but we do. Like, I fuck you up this way, and then you'll fuck your kids up that way, and we just flip-flop back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And really all it is just because we don't have a fucking clue. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing. Nobody knows what we're supposed to be doing. But the thing is, once you start doing what seems right to you, you feel that that's the right thing to do, and you get addicted to the way that it feels to do the right thing. And then even when the wrong thing comes up, you go, no, I don't think so, because I've been down that road, and I have, and it ended with had a substantial head injury and breakdown, and a loss of dignity, and complete and total lack of my humanity, my compassion. My compassion was gone. That was the most horrifying part. I'm not giving my compassion up for nothing. And that's why I don't date. That's why I don't do dirt. That's why I don't, I try to keep my nose clean, as it were. And because it just feels too damn good to pursue something meaningful. And the meaningful is that I know that by becoming the most that I'm capable of becoming, then I have the best chance of doing the greatest good. That's all. I don't see how it could be any other way. So I know that my broken ass self 4 years ago, when I started this journey, wasn't doing anything for anybody except causing misery and complications for people around me, because I wasn't acting like a grown-up, and I wasn't meeting my responsibilities, even though I acted like and talked like I thought that I did. But I knew deep down I wasn't, because I was doing the things that I wanted to do and doing them really well, but I wasn't doing the things I didn't want to do, or, those are my responsibilities too. That's the thing. So anyway, I'm going on and on and on. I just wanted to say that we got this. I really think we do. I think we're going to wake up one day. This is my prediction. I think we're going to wake up one morning, and we're going to be going about our day, and all of a sudden, we're going to stop in our tracks and say, wait a second. Something feels different. Do you notice that? Do you feel that? Everything feels lighter. Everything feels better. People are happier and nicer, and things seem to be working better. And the reason I say that is because that's what happened to me in my life. When I did the work long enough, I started to see the benefit at about 6 months. And I don't think it would take us 6 months because I think we were already working on it. I just think we don't know we're working on it, and so we're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. We need to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's what I keep doing. I still take a step back every, you know, like a stutter step. Take 2 great little giant leaps, and then I take a step back. I go, but I catch myself. And then the next step I take is enormous and fun. Fun. And, you know, we could do it together. Yeah, we could dance, ecstatic dance like Maya Angelou said. And we could sing, and we could just lift the world up and carry it off of the shit heap. We really can. I absolutely promise you. I don't care what anybody says, we can. Because if I can, we can. So, that's it for today. Love you.